to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Check this out. Check it out.
This video is
An
made
illegal
for
drug
information
investigation that
purposes
began in
only.
Jacksonville has
Parental
morphed
discretion
into
advised.
something much larger.
And now
This is
police
street
say
knowledge,
5
street
suspected
news.
drug trafficking organizations that were operating in Florida, Georgia, and Puerto Rico have been dismantled. Operation Players Club led to the arrest of these 14 drug trafficking suspects. And JSO says they've got an arrest warrant for an additional 13 suspects. News for Jax reporter Eric Avigny breaks down the investigation.
Street news.
Everything on this table was seized as evidence during a 5-month investigation called Operation Players Club. During a Wednesday news conference to announce the results of the operation, Sheriff T.K. Waters said the investigation initially targeted a Jacksonville-based drug trafficking organization.
This organization was responsible for huge quantities of illegal fentanyl, methamphetamine trafficking.
But the local investigation morphed into something much larger, so large that JSO partnered with various federal law enforcement organizations and other local and state law enforcement offices in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia.
While this operation was spearheaded to address local narcotics trafficking, it resulted in the dismantlement of 5 drug trafficking organizations in Florida, Georgia, and Puerto Rico.
Operation Players Club led to the seizure of 118 pounds of meth, 12 kilos of MDMA, commonly known on the streets as Molly and ecstasy, 7.5 kilos of cocaine, 164 grams of crack, 2 kilos of fentanyl, 13 pounds of marijuana, $239,000 in cash, 26 guns, and a Dodge Charger. Although these 14 trafficking suspects were arrested during the investigation, 31-year-old Paul Anderson was the one suspect whom Sheriff Waters specifically spoke about.
Paul Anderson, a significant drug trafficker in our area and one of the targets of this operation, is pending federal prosecution with our partners at the U.S. Attorney's Office.
These are surveillance pictures of Anderson. They were taken at a West Side condominium complex. Anderson had been under FBI and JSO surveillance between September and October of last year. Investigators say Anderson was selling illegal drugs from this building. In fact, they say that he was storing some of those illegal drugs in this unit. When police and federal agents executed a search warrant here, they said they found an assortment of illegal narcotics, cash, and a handgun. And when they searched a home in Orange Park, where Anderson was reportedly living, they said they found more drugs, an assortment of firearms, body armor, and more than $30,000 in cash. Now, according to JSO, a drug organization in Puerto Rico was acting as the supply chain for the trafficking organizations that were under investigation here in Florida and in Georgia. Also, federal investigators noted in the complaint affidavit that Paul Anderson has international ties, stating he flew to Turks and Caicos and had only stayed there for 3 days before flying back to Jacksonville. Now, you know what's really interesting about this? This is yet another example of how a drug organization can start so small. A drug investigation can start so small on the streets and just expand well beyond our viewing area.
Yeah, this is a big operation, big bust, lots of suspects, all of that. But you cover DAA investigations all the time I'm sure this is not the end. This isn't the last time we're going to see some major drug busts.
It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. And here's the reason why. You know, you speak with any DEA agent, any law enforcement officer for that matter, whether it be federal, local, or state, and they'll tell you the same thing. You take 1 or 2 of these guys off the street, and then there's always, it creates a power vacuum, and someone else fills that power vacuum, and then next thing you know, you've got someone else doing the same thing.
Well, law enforcement will still be there doing their thing, too. Eric, thank you.
Thank you for watching our digital media, and thank you for your support.